and it's all in our face. You feel me? And I think when they left Jackson, Jackson 5, when they were Jackson 5, when they was with Motown with Berry Gordy, and then when they left, they became the Jacksons. You know what I'm saying? That just shows how everything became more one body, and then that's when Michael went solo. You know what I'm saying? This stuff is real. It's that deep how they like became one body, and then Michael went solo. But anyway, Berry Gordy with the Motown, hint Berry don't mean nothing obviously, but like the plunderer. And when you understand what the plunder something mean, I mean what? To steal goods, to steal by force, civil war, violence, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Remember I was already talking about that in about the whole theme of when I was reading earlier about Revelation 12 about the red dragon, you know, seeking to like take away the man child so that he can be ruling. Notice in 76, Berry Gordy lost Michael Jackson. You feel what I'm saying? That stuff is real, man. When you look at Barry anyway, hint Barry, as we know, Barry is what? Barry is short for Barack Obama, man. You know what I'm saying? Before he was Barack, he was Barry. You feel what I mean? All of this stuff is all in our face. And I've broken this down plenty of times already, but let me show y'all one more time right quick. Remember, as it's written in scripture, that the man who will declare himself as God will that he will enter into the temple of God and declare himself as God. You know what I mean? And hint Obama was the only president to ever go into the king's chamber of the pyramid. You remember I was already talking about that earlier about the whole theme of the altar. You feel what I'm saying? All of this stuff comes together, man. And there's just no way around it at all. You feel what I mean? There's just no way around this stuff. Hint Barry Allen. Remember the Flash? How his name was Barry Allen. I remember as it's written that Satan will fall as lightning from the heavens. Hint Barry Flash. Hint the lightning. You know what I'm saying? That all operates in that energy. You feel what I mean? So I'm gonna play a clip right quick, and I'm gonna chime on in. Just listen to this, y'all. I want to talk about something right quick. Remember, Obama was born in 1961. I remember in the 60s, the era of the 60s was dark. You know what I mean? When you look at the movies that was out, when you look at the music that was out, things of that nature, it was like a darker energy. And you remember you had obviously the fake moon landing, but you remember when they did the moon landing, it was all to blasphemy to say that they reached, you know, the heights of heaven, you know, through their imagination and that the moon witnessed it. Because remember, as it's written in scripture, that the moon is as a faithful witness. You know what I'm saying? So when you understand this right here, in the 70s, we had a higher climax. Remember, in the 70s, it was a strong soul. That was the soul era. It was a very strong, powerful era. You know what I'm saying? Because that obviously pushed the disco. You know what I mean? And when you understand as it's written in scripture, let them praise his name in the dance, let them sing praises unto him with the harp, you know, and obviously with the voices and things of that nature. The 70s, you had Soul Train. Notice the Soul Train. Remember, I was talking about the Port Arthur train earlier? Notice the Soul Train that they wanted to derail. You feel what I'm saying? That was their whole objective. That's why it ended the way it did. And they said Don Cornelius, you know, how he dies off and things of that nature, because that was their way of trying to say that the conductor that was leading the Soul Train led them to be, you know, crashed off and derailed. Hint, we already know Don Cornelius' lifestyle and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? That was the whole objective. They wanted to crash the Soul Train. You see how deep they wanted to crash the Exodus. So I'm going to play a clip and just listen to Michael Jackson. To notice the 70s, like I said, was a high level of energy, a high level of spiritual wisdom. It was a high level of praise, dance, and things of that nature. Pay attention to this.